Here comes Navas!
Great control by Ernie Tapai.
Still Ernie Tapai, it's a goal! It is a goal!
And Nicodeme's got there and he's turned the defence, there's his foul! Super stuff! And a very good evening to you across Singapore from the Bukit Gombak Stadium in the heart of the Republic, really, for tonight's big match live here on Sports City. And it sees the home side, Gombak United, take on the high-flying Tanjong Pagar. A key game for both sides. Tanjong Pagar, the guests, currently lying in third place in the league. They've played 4, won 3, drawn 1. They've scored 7, conceded 2, and they have 10 points. And their disappointment last week was the no-score draw that they had last week, which are wrong. Apart from that, Gombak, they're lying in 5th place. They played 4, won 2, drawn 1. They've lost 1. They've scored 5, they've conceded 4, and they have 7 points. And tonight could well be a battle of the coaches. Two very interesting coaches to watch tonight. Johari, the extremely experienced coach of Tanjong Pagar, and the Malaysian coach, Moy Yakam, the former Penang coach with Gombak. And it's our first chance to see this Gombak side tonight. Many people are possibly tipping to break into the rather exclusive little club that has existed at the top of the S.LEAGUE for the past 4 seasons. Singapore Armed Forces, Geylang, Tanjong Pagar, and to a slightly lesser extent, Home United, although they were champions last year. And it's just possible that Gombak could be the surprise team. Last season they did really surprise everyone. They came in 5th, they played 22 and they won just 8, but they got 32 points. That was under coach David O'Connor, of course, an Australian coach who subsequently left the side. There's their lineup for tonight. In goal, Stephen Ng, Johari, Zakaria, Nieuwet Siriwang, the new Thai player they've just signed, the Danish player Jorgen Nielsen, who's also the club manager, To Chun Ming, slightly out of form at the moment, but for many people's money, the best forward in Singapore. Balamudu Konde, the Ghanaian player, Fahmi Abdullah, a young player to watch, Surachai, and that's Surachai first J, Jatura Patrapong, Surachai Jirasirikot at 16, Jörg Steinbrunner, the German, at 17, and Saswati Matadasuki, the former Singapore international, at 19. And there are the substitutes on the bench. So the Tanjong Pagar lineup just coming up for you. And they're at full strength tonight as I've gone back. No injury problems for the Jaguars. Dragan Talic, who you will have seen the last time we covered TP Live when he got the Man of the Match award against Home. Aziz Salim, Rudy Hairon, Samawira Basri, the skipper, Lim Tong Hai, Nicodeme Boucher and Boubacar Seck, what they call the Twin Towers up front, the 2 Senegalese players. The veteran Stephen Tan, Basri Halis, another excellent French-speaking player, the Algerian French-born Jamel Ashouri, and finally at number 18, Johannes Idris, and they are coached by Johari Pajan. The officials for the match tonight, well, there's a little bit of a story there. That's En Santan, your picture, highly experienced ref, a FIFA referee. The last time he came up here, he red-carded To Chun Ming, so the Gombak boys know him very well. The assistant referees, Mohammed Ali and Tang Yumun. The 2 captains for you tonight for Tanjong Pagar, Lim Tong Hai, and in your picture now, Saswati Matadasuki, the 31-year-old. In fact, he's 31, he will be on April the 8th in 2 days' time, and a former Tanjong Pagar player, and there are quite a few former Tanjong Pagar players in this Gombak lineup. There's one of the Twin Towers, Nicodeme, and Tolski moment stands with 4 goals in the lead and he's joint 2nd place top scorer. We're away here at the Bukit Gombak Stadium with Gombak in the white strip, playing from left to right on your screen, but it won't be white for very long because this pitch is very wet and greasy, and the left-hand side goal mouth has a very substantial pool of water in it, which came about from heavy rain this afternoon for a couple of hours here up in the centre. It's a shame because apparently the pitch was in mint condition until that rain came. They met last season and it went Tanjong Pagar 1, Gombak 2, and then Gombak 2, Tanjong Pagar 2, so a little bit of a psychological boost there really for the Gombak boys. They weren't beaten last season by TP. The season before that it went Tanjong Pagar 2, Gombak 1, and Gombak 1, Tanjong Pagar 3. Well, that sets the scene for you, and in your picture, To Chun Ming, who hasn't quite found his scoring touch yet, the 30-year-old. Has been Singapore international since 1992, but career problems for him have really led to him almost really dropping out of Vincent Subramanian's squad. It's very difficult for him to get time off. There's the TP captain, Lim Tong Hai, and our panellist on our chat show on Sundays, 30 years old. and now the assistant coach to Johari Pajan. Ambitious shot, and the evening here is fair. Johari Zakaria in your picture. The clouds have gone away, and a good crowd in of about 1,500 to 2,000 still coming in the gates, which is good for a Thursday night. There's the music section. Offside given from that ball forward from Jatura Pasarapong Surachai. Dragan Talic, the Croatian goalkeeper of TP, 34 years old. And as I was saying, got the Man of the Match award the last time that we saw TP play. That was against Home United in the opening match of the season. Rather wild ball forward from TP, but it's nicely tidied up at the back. And a player to watch for that the press have picked up recently is the number 11 for Gombak, Fahmi Abdullah, 26 years old, left-footed player, former Gelang player, and many people find that he's one of the most exciting players in the S-League this season. He has number 11 on his back. Conde, the number 10, the big Ghanaian, who used to play in the league. That's him just in your picture, Fahmi Abdullah, that is, from the back with the ponytail. Long ball forward, looking for Nielsen. To Chu Ming can't get that one, and it'll be a throw in to Tanjong Pagar. Good evening, if you've just joined us, live pictures from the Bukit Gombak Stadium. 5 minutes into this match, no score so far. At the home side, Gombak playing in the wide strip. Fahmi Abdullah. Broken up by Rudy Hyron. Jay Surachai, Jatura Pasarapong, that is. That's the first touch for Malamudu Conde, the Ghanaian player. I'd be interested to see how both sides play it, because the pitch is very greasy and close control is going to be very difficult. Break forward by Wira. And a chance, early chance. I think that Boubacar was looking for Nicodeme, who didn't run through on it. Conde with a long ball, far too long forward, and instead of letting it run out, Talic decides to keep it in play. Boubacar Seck, Kamel Boubacar Seck, who came from Strasbourg, 34-year-old, and he, along with Nicodeme Boucher and also Jamel Ashuri, joined this side from a season they were spending in the Reunion Islands, playing for a side called US Possession. In the S-League at the moment, Singapore Armed Forces are top, from Gelang, Tanjong Pagar in 3rd place, Jurong in 4th, and Balestier in Gombak in 5th, which it was Balestier for Pierre Sabaji's sake, and Gombak in 5th place. And another match going on tonight, which we'll keep you up to date with, and it's Home United, who are just beginning to find form, and for almost the first time this season, Robert Alberts is able to field a fit side. Ernie Tapai almost certainly starting. He trained last night and didn't appear to have any side effects, but they're playing against Marine Castle, a revitalised Marine Castle. Marine Castle got 1 or 2 problems. Their Korean winger, Kim Seng-mang, is out, suspended, and Garcia, the young Australian, has flu. But we'll keep you up to date with the score there. We'll see a lot of that. Long ball forward, looking for Boubacar and Nicodeme. A lot of responsibility on the foreign players at Gombak. They have equal highest number of foreign players in their squad. Steinbrunner, as well as Nielsen. The 3 ties. Ball in from Wira. Won an early chance. Brave play by the keeper, Stephen Ung. Here it is again. Nicodeme in. And good interception by Stephen Ung. It's given away the corner though, and the first corner of the match goes to Tanjong Pagar. First look at Stephen Tan, Singapore international, who was telling me before the match that he very much hopes to still be a Singapore international, not to refer to him as a former international. Header was from Nicodeme Boucher. .92 of him, and of course was playing with Tanjong Pagar back in 1998 when he left. 33 years old now. Wira. Nicodeme wins the throw-in at the expense of Diviat Sriwang. That's Jamela Shuri, and I think one of the best of the new foreign players who've come into the league this season, the little French-born Algerian midfielder. Wira takes the throw, gets to Jamela Shuri. And they've obviously decided that he's a threat with 3 men marking him. 29 years old. Really high on losing, or just eventually getting the ball to Wira. Conde and Aziz Salim going one-on-one. Fahmi Abdullah rather. Runs out, no score, and about 8 minutes gone. Top scorers in the league at the moment. Indra Sharandaur of Geylang is top with 5 goals. And that's a little chance to have a look at Moyo Khan, the very tough coach of Gombak, known as a hard man, and had a really distinguished career with Penang in the Malaysian League. Tell you a little bit more about him in a moment. Fahmi Abdullah with the throw for Gombak. Cross in from Mata looking for Jorgen Nielsen. And now a chance for Johari Zakaria. Cross in. Oh, and a little bit of indecision. And that was an excellent save from Talic from the shot from Jorgen Nielsen. Hesitation from Tong Hai. A real moment of uncertainty. Let's look at it again, and it comes, and by that time Tong Hai had shown a wee bit of hesitation and allowed Jorgen to get the shot in, and a very good save by Talic in the goal. Conde. Offside against Jorgen Nielsen, and well offside as well. Bouncing awkwardly around, and eventually just back to the keeper, courtesy of Jörg Steinbrunner. Let's look at it once more, and you can see what a good save it was by the big Croatian. And a chance now again for Gombak. It's gone now! Beautifully placed by Johari Zakaria. And that's a bit of a shock. And I have to say, TP really looking a little bit frozen at the back at the moment. Let's look at it again. Now that's To Chu Ming just slipping over. At that moment he didn't look much, and up pops Zakaria Johari. And it's 1-0 inside 11 minutes. Tahari Paijan, the coach of TP, not amused. confirmation of the score. Let's look at it again. Now you can see how beautifully he places it. Talihitsu just made an excellent save, really could do nothing about that. I think everyone was a little bit distracted by To Chiu-ming going down. And now TP have it all to do. They started so well in this season as well. Give you their results in just a moment. Rudy Hiron, beg your pardon, Wira. A new haircut. Fahmi Abdullah. Stroking it nicely with his left foot. Looking for To Chiu-ming and getting a nice ball from To Chiu-ming. Referee Santan blows, and it's going to be a free kick to Gombak. Moy Yokan took Penang to the FA Cup in 1997, then took them to the League Championship in '98. And they are 1-0 up. Jorgen Nielsen, oh, another lovely ball in. This time a better clearance from Tong Hai. The scorer, Johari Zakaria, is 24 years old, former Clementi Khalsa player. Oh, a nice little touch inside by Bala, but tied it up by Lim Tong Hai. That'll be Nieuwiaat's ball, although eventually it was cleared by Steinbrunner to Nielsen. First time ball in. And Tanjong Pagar at the moment just a little bit 6s and 7s in defence. They're lucky there, they get a kick out, take the pressure off. 1-0 the score. Johari Zakaria the scorer for Gombak. The two ties, veterans really, the two sort of Chais. Tong Hai caught with an awkward ball there, just managing to get it in the end to Johannes Idris, who does well and reaches Jamel. Nice little 1-2 between the two TP players. And Boubacar, who it has been suggested has a little bit of a way to go to prove himself in the side. He's played at the highest level, played with Strasbourg in the French League. To Chiu-ming for Gombak. Patarapong. Big run down the right again from a blaster from Steinbrunner, and now the German has to tidy up a bit, gets it back to Surachai. Oh, a nice little ball from him, which eventually ends up back with Steinbrunner. Puts it out sportingly because there's an injury to Lim Tong Hai. Tong Hai in some distress there. They started off this season so well, TP, with a 1-0 win over Home United, then a 2-1 win over Woodlands, a big 4-1 win over Sembawang, and then a surprise last week, they drew 0-0 with Jurong. I just wonder whether that set one or two little mental alarm bells ringing in their head. They've certainly taken time to settle down here. There's the score, 1-0, and the scorer, Johari Zakaria, in the 10th minute. Gombak also not a bad start. They beat Jurong 1-0, then they drew 2-2 with Tampines Rovers. They beat Woodlands 1-0, but then they surprisingly lost last week to the shock side of the S-League this season, Marine Castle, who, as I was saying earlier, are playing Home United tonight, and we'll keep you up to date with that. Well, that's a bad blow if the Tanjong Pagar captain goes off. Jorgen Nielsen, who doubles up here as club manager. the Dane, and has been with his club for some time, since they were actually called Red Hill Football Club back in the 96-97 period. Been in Singapore since 1995, and that's a blow, and I have to say Tong Hai does look in distress, and he's not getting up either. Right, play goes on. Steinbrunner. Nielsen. Well, I'm pleased to say, as we look at Johannes Idris, that Lim Tong Hai just jogged out of your frame there on the left-hand side, and he's back on the pitch, wincing a bit. Throw into Gombak, taken by the goal scorer Johari Zakaria. Conde. Nice play by the Ghanaian. Oh, a shame. And Jorgen Nielsen acknowledging that that was a good play by Conde, which he slightly misread. 31 years old, and if you want to know about enterprise in the S-League, Gombak have got it. This gentleman in your picture, Jorgen Nielsen, runs their clubhouse, which they very enterprisingly have put on Boat Quay. And in an attempt to attract the business people in and stimulate interest, he's through now on goal, and Saleh has missed it. A chance for 2-0! Well, he might be on Boat Quay in the daytime, but up here tonight, we're seeing a big surprise, really. Now, what's happened here? Because the referee has gone over to a Gombak player who's down in the middle of the pitch. I think I'm pretty sure that the goal has been given. 17 minutes into the first half. It certainly made the fans happy, but in the centre of the pitch there, one of the Gombak players is down and appears to have fallen. Let's have a look at the replay first. Dreadfully difficult ball for Talic, who misread it completely and more or less tried to pull down Nielsen, failed to, and it's 2-0 to Gombak. So pleasure for the club manager. Let's look at it once more. You can see the problems that Talic has here. It bounces a little bit more than he thought on a very soggy pitch, and all Nielsen had to do was steer it into the net. 2-0 to Gombak, only 17 minutes gone, and one of the fans said to me, it'll be 4-1 tonight to Gombak Chong, as I came into the ground, and I really laughed at him. I had it 2-1 to TP, and it's certainly not going to be that, is it? Idris looking for Senegalese. A chance now for Bouba. Oh, when it goes wrong every game for this boy at the moment, losing his footing. Here it is again, it's just steered on by Nicodeme, and it is wet. Fahmi Abdullah tidying up, but they're going to get a corner. Tanjong Pagar is been taken on the open side of the stadium, away from the grandstand. Comes in from Jamel, up go the big boys, and Steinbrunner punts it away right underneath our commentary position. Jörg Steinbrunner from Freiburg, and that is Nicodeme Boucher from Senegal. Throw in will be taken by Johannes Idris. Away by Johari Zakaria. They won't worry how they get it out of touch and waste a bit of time at the moment. Gone back 2-0 up. Throw in taken by Samawira Basri. And in the centre of the pitch, certainly, it's starting to get pretty slippery. Tochu Ming really couldn't keep his footing at all there, and it's given a chance to Jamal Ashuri. A long ball looking for Stephen Tan. Stephen's in the end of it. This could be 2-1. Well, 3 goals in just 20 minutes. And Stephen Tan is really finding form this season. And as I say, before the game started, he said to me, I hope I'm still in Vincent's mind. And I think he's really beginning to prove it. To disappointment for Stephen Ang. We'll look at it again in a minute. Stephen Ang really not knowing what hit him, I think, there. Here it is. And really, all he had to do was steer the net, and that's the TP band and supporters club, which you hear in force tonight. The ball's gone out of the stadium, and there's the score. Johari, Zakaria and Jorgen Nielsen for Gombak, and now Stephen Tan for Tanjong Pagar. You can see the water come up there as it went into the net. Well, no shortage of excitement. Fahmi Abdullah with the throw. Surachai. Poor ball from him, reaches Jamel. Over goes Steinbrunner with Nicodeme coming down, and Boubacar thinking about going in on the keeper, I think, changed his mind. It'll be a throw-in to TP. And really a very good crowd in now. Here the open stand, which is where I commentate from, which is the side you see the pictures from. Almost full, and the grandstand too, which is good to see. Balamoudou Condé. Nielsen. Long ball forward from Surachai. It's going to be picked up by Johari Zakaria, causing all sorts of problems here on the left side of the TP defence. And Chatura Patarapong skying that one over. But the TP defence are just not picking up Johari Zakaria, coming down the right, who officially is a defensive midfielder. And I'm sure the stats there for Boubacar Seck. Meter 92. And along with Nicodeme, who's a meter 91. They form the Twin Towers of Tanjong Pagar, who have a goal kick. Boubacar. We're looking for the cross. Steinbrunner will tidy up for Gombak as far as Jorgen Nielsen. Brought down, was he? Johannes Idris, the offender. Let's look at it again. Don't need too much doubt about that, and a free kick to Gombak. Oh. Well, the ref appeared to give the free kick. Gombak thought he had, and now he's going to give it as a throw-in. Johari with the throw for Nielsen, skidding along like a difficult to get, and Tong Hai not having an entirely composed evening at the moment. He wins that time against Nielsen, but only gets it as far as Surachai. Puts a long ball over, looking for Fahmi Abdullah. He does well to keep it in. Condé. Nice layoff by Saswati Matedasuki. Chipped forward by Niwiat. And here he comes again down the right, Johari. This time he goes inside Johannes Idris, but the linesman's raised for a flag. Raised for a foul, I should say. And it will be a free kick to Gombak. Condé will take it. Nielsen's in the box. away by Nicodeme. Nice to see the big man back in defence. Niviat Siriwang. Condé, oh, that just skids away off his boot, but it's going to be okay. Picked up by Nielsen. Condé will put another cross in. Oh, the crowd are really enjoying this. Certainly, Gombak not at all intimidated by TP's reputation. Lim Tong Hai looking just a little puffed. Wira, another international on the TP side. Throw-in is going to be taken by Johari Zakaria. Surachai. Siriwang to Steinbrunner. Surachai does well, but the offside flag has gone off, and that must have been a real hair's breadth. It was To Chiu Min over there on the far side of the ground, the offender, but he was really only marginally offside. The score stays Gombak United 2, Tanjong Pagar 1, and the scorers Johari Zakaria in the 10th minute for Gombak. Very worried, looking to Hari Paijan, coach of TP. And then a second from Jorgen Nielsen. And then TP finally got their act together. The goal from Stephen Tan some 8 minutes ago made it 2-1. Steinbrunner gets it away for Gombak. Aziz Salim escorts it into touch. Surachai. Siriwang. Well, that looked more offside than the one given originally to me. To Chiu Min couldn't get on the end of it anyway. It'll be a goal kick to Tanjong Pagar. Talic, who made a smashing save in the 8th minute, but then really was caught by a beautifully angled shot from Johari Zakaria just a couple of moments later. He's going to leave the free kick for Rudy Hyron. Rudy Hyron's going to collect it on the edge of the box. Indeed, no, he's going to take it. Up goes Condé and gets up very well over Jamel. Loose ball from Basri. Left-footed shot from Fahmi Abdullah, and well worth trying from there, because the ball is going to skid off this very greasy surface, make it difficult for the keeper. 26 years old, and had spells with Geylang, SAF, and also Sembawang. I think it's great when these sides bring cheerleaders along, but I'd just like to see them down on the running track or in front of the grandstands. They get a bit lost up there, and the spectacle gets spoilt. I felt the same at Bishan last week. Stephen Tan tries a long one, all punched away by Stephen Ung. Another chance for them now, hooked in. It's Jamel. And Gombak nearly caught napping there. Wira, Jamel still, rather, now Wira. And Jamel's ball just a little bit loose, picked up by Surachai. Condé. Fahmi Abdullah. But a good tackle from Aziz Salim. And there's a fair amount of scolding going on in the TP defence. There it is again. And you'll see the attempt that was the best of the two shots from the Algerian Jamel Ashouri. Condé, oh, long in the end, but a very good idea with Johari unmarked yet again on the right here, and he's on the team sheet as a defensive midfielder, the number 2. Well, Moya was looking ecstatic about 10 minutes ago, not quite so ecstatic now. Took over from David O'Connor in a controversial end to David O'Connor's reign. Surachai. Aziz Salim finds touch. It will be a throw into Gombak United. Taken by Jatura Patarapong Surachai. Big clearance from Rudy Hyron. Nicodeme Boucher. But in the end, tied it up well by the Thai Nuiat Siriwang, who only joined Gombak, their number 3, right at the start of the season. Fahmi Abdullah with a run down the left, and he is up, brought down there, and that'll be a card and a free kick. Aziz Salim, the offender. Before this game, there had been 88 yellow cards and 11 red cards so far this season, and 1 or 2 refs might just give him that one a little thought about the red card. A pretty bad tackle by Aziz Salim, Singapore international and former Balestier player. Abdullah tries a right foot, and not a bad one either. In fact, Gombak, who came bottom in the Fair Play League last season when they finished 5th, are on that way again. They've got 12 cards already this season, 10 yellows and 2 reds. And Tanjong Pagar have 7 yellows and 1 red, a total of, as I saying, 11 red cards in just 4 weeks of the season so far. There's Jay Surachai, 31 years old. .33 minutes gone of the first half here in Gombak. 2-1 to Gombak United in a highly entertaining first half. Boubacar. Back he goes, and he's looking for Nicodeme and not finding him. Conde. Ooh, cut out by Stephen Tan, whose pace is still extremely quick. Scorer of the TP goal, and still only 29 years old, so he has every reason to be hopeful that he can get back into international contention. It was known during his international days really almost a super sub in the days of Barry, Whitbread, and it'd be nice to see him back in a Lions shirt. Cross in from Jamel, coming to a corner for Tanjong Pagar. Jörg Steinbrunner, former Woodlands, former Tanjong Pagar player, of course, in 1998, and a Singapore PR, but he's 28 years old, so he may well face the cut at the end of this season with the new rules. In comes the corner. Headed away in the end by Surachai Jorgen. Steinbrunner breaking forward. Referee Santan doesn't like that, and it will be a little quiet word with Lim Tong Hai, who's had this occasional problem with referees in his career. But now he's club captain, he seems to me to have calmed down considerably. Stephen Tan. Jamel. Weira. Only reaches Conde. Aziz Salim leaves it for Rudy Hyron. Conde is absolutely everywhere at the moment for Gombak. This is Surachai. But the whistle's gone, the score stays 2-1, and there are 10 minutes remaining. Been an international, Jatura Patarapong Surachai, since 1992 with the Thai side, along with his compatriot here, Jorgen Surachai. Two of the most experienced international players in the S.LEAGUE. Weira hasn't got too many options up front. Stephen Tan with the cross in, and that's a good cross too. And they're appealing for a penalty. Nicodeme was sure he was brought down, but play still going on. A chance for Boubacar, and not well directed because he had Siriwang with him. And Nicodeme still appealing to referee Santan. Just explaining to him in a few words of French and English. Extremely nice guy, I must say. All these players, Boubacar, Jamel and Nicodeme, they really are a credit to their club. Happy to stand and chat away before the game when people like me ask boring questions. Boucher, Nicodeme. Boucher going for the return. Boucher Halis playing well. Back to Jamel Achouri. First time cross for Boubacar, who leaves it in the hope that it might run through. Actually, it only ran in the end to Siriwang. Surajai and Jamel. But he really is a battler, the little French-Algerian. Tonghai a bit fortunate to get away with that. Wira. And away comes Fahmi Abdullah for Gombak. Offside against To Chu Ming. He had a spell in his career in 1997 with Sembawang. But for many people, he is the best forward in Singapore. And as I was saying earlier, unfortunately, more or less unable to play regular international football because of his commitments. A cross in for Boubacar, and Stephen Ang does well there. That was a much better effort from Boubacar. How he would dearly love a goal, Boubacar Seck. He climbs up very well over Siriwang. Let's look at it again. You can see how well he uses his height. Wow, it really does get up too. Just steered into touch by Aziz Salim. There'll be a throw in to Gombak, and the crowd have thoroughly enjoyed this match. 3 goals in the first 20 minutes. Condé. And again, nobody really picking up this ploy, using Johari Zakaria on the right. A little too deep that time, and it's Tanjong Pagar's ball. Nicodeme is through. Steinbrunner sportingly pulling up Nicodeme, who gets a throw in. Stephen Tan. Good interception. Tonghai looking for Stephen Tan, but only reaching Fahmi Abdullah. Nielsen. Condé. Fahmi Abdullah looking for Surajai. And away comes, oh, that's a glorious ball from Jamel. And unfortunately, Boucher Halis couldn't quite hang on to it. Ran straight into Siriwang, but it will be a throw in to Tanjong Pagar. Boucher Halis, 24 years old. Another international in this TP lineup. Throw will be taken by Johannes Idris. To the back there, and Tonghai comes forward with a ball that was really neither one thing or the other. Not a shot, not a pass. It'll be a goal kick for Stephen Ang to take, and the score stays at Gombak 2, Tanjong Pagar 1, with 5 minutes to go in the first half of our live match here on Sports City. You're never too young to come to a soccer match. He seems more interested in the play than his father. Tonghai, who took that knock about a quarter of an hour ago, seems to be okay. The crowd have really enjoyed it. a real S.LEAGUE crowd, not that demonstrative, I guess you'd have to say. Surachai, confirmation of the score. Zakaria, Johari, Zakaria and Jorgen Nielsen for Gombak. And just 5 minutes after Nielsen had made it 2-0, Stephen Tan made it 2-1. Throw in by Aziz Salim. Conde. Good play again from the Guinean. And that's offside against Fahmi Abdullah, which Johari Zakaria is not too happy about. This is a ground which is very spectator-friendly. It's one of the nicest grounds in the S.LEAGUE. It has trees around 3/4 of the side, backs up onto a big hill, green hill, and it also has an MRT station slap bang outside. So they should get good crowds here. Boucher gets the cross in, well, up goes the big man, 2-2! And that's when you see a 1m92 player at his very, very best, and it's 5 goals now for Nicodeme Boucher. And 4 goals for us in the first half. A delight for the TP faithful. It's a lovely cross in from Basri, who perhaps really should have been closed down there. He was given a free cross. And now it's Gombak's turn to start scolding each other in defence. Johari looks more relaxed. Nicodeme Boucher makes it 5 goals in the S.LEAGUE, and rather astonishingly, not nominated as one of the 5 players for the Player of the Month in the Straits Times Player of the Month competition. In fact, not a single foreign player was nominated, even though 5 of the 6 top scorers are all foreigners. Well, what a good first half. We're a limps back rather. Not running too freely. So I think I can safely say, indulging cliches, that it's all happening at Bukit Gombak Stadium. Fahmi Abdullah. Weira. Stephen Tan can't quite control that. Eventually goes into touch. It'll be a throw-in as we move towards half-time. There'll be a little bit of stoppage time added on, particularly for the injury to Lim Tong Hai. Up goes Boubacar. Nicodeme, chance for Boubacar on the left foot, 3-2! What a sensational first half, and he'll be absolutely delighted about that. As nice a guy as you could wish to meet, and not having a great start to the season in the first 4 matches, taking a little bit of stick in the press, and he'll be absolutely delighted, and the biggest hug of all comes from his Senegalese compatriot, Nicodeme Boucher. Let's look at it again. Again, Nicodeme causing all sorts of problems initially in the defence, and he came up the first time, or almost the first time, shot controlled it well in a very, very difficult goalmouth, I might add, that's very wet. And boy, is he pleased. Well, what an extraordinary game. 2-0 to Gombak, and now 3-2 to TP. Bajri Hallis. There it is. There's the shot. And poor Stephen Ng being left just a little bit exposed by his defence. Nobody marking Boubacar. Confirmation of the score. And we are really now almost at the end of normal time in the first half. Oh, now his confidence up. Oh, nice little bit of play to Jamel Ashuri. Jamel, and now TP stroking it around. Tong Hai going again for the first time ball. Jorgen Nielsen, who must be extremely disappointed, gets it out to Surachai. Nielsen. Conde. Fahmi Abdullah can't quite control it. And what now? Fahmi Abdullah has a chance to get a cross in. To Chun Ming is in the box. Surely a foul there by Weira. appeared to grab hold of the arm of Saswati Matedasuki. In fact, it was Jamel, was it? So it'll be a free kick to Gombak, taken by Suruchai Chaturapatharapong. Nielsen is making all sorts of moves inside the box. Sets it up for Steinbrunner, but he pulls it well to the right of Dragan Talijic's post, and the score stays 3-2. Well, the other day we were saying in a meeting here at Sports City that we weren't seeing too many goals in our live televised matches, but 5 goals in just the first 40 minutes here at Bukit Gombak have made for an entertaining game. Up goes Nicodeme Boucher. A kick to TP for that shirt pull. A little shot there of Dasuki, who was an international really for some 7 years, from 92 till about 98, and who used to play for Chongbaru before they became Tanjong Pagar. And I understand that Home United are leading 1-0. Egmar Gonçalves the scorer. Up goes Nicodeme. Not really cleared by the Gombak defence. It is now. And there's the whistle for half-time, and what a first 45 minutes we've had here at Bukit Gombak. Close up there of Nicodeme and Boubacar, the Twin Towers. They've got 1 apiece. Stephen Tan got the 3rd for TP, but up until that stage, it looked as if Gombak were to take 3 points. They had 2 goals in the first 17 minutes. The first came in the 10th minute from Johari Zakaria, a lovely angled shot past Dragan Talijic. And then a complete mistake by Talijic, who distinctly did not judge the bounce of the ball at all. It went over his head, and up popped the club manager in the form of Jorgen Nielsen to make it 2-0 to Gombak. And then the revival by Tanjong Pagar. 3 goals, Stephen Tan the first, the second came from Nicodeme Boucher, and the third from Boubacar Seck. So that's the half-time situation here at the Bukit Gombak Stadium. The score, Gombak United 2, Tanjong Pagar 3. Join us for action at half-time, highlights, and the second half live here on Sports City. Welcome back to Sports City's live coverage of the Singapore S.LEAGUE, and on this Thursday evening we're at the Bukit Gombak Stadium in the centre of Singapore for what's turned out to be a pretty good game of football, really. Everybody thought this would be a game that Tanjong Pagar might well find relatively easy, but those boys there have certainly come the hard way. They were 2-0 down when they fought back to 3-2 Tanjong Pagar, and Nicodeme Boucher just giving some words of advice from a great height, as it were, to the rest of the Tanjong Pagar side. The young fans here have all enjoyed it too, just having a little snack at half-time, and cute, eh? There's Stephen Ung, the Gombak goalkeeper, who's had 3 goals put past him after they were 2-0 up Gombak. For those of you who didn't see the first half, it was 1-0, 2-0 to Gombak, then 2-1, 2-2 and 3-2, with 3 goals in the space of some 15 minutes for the Jaguars, as Tanjong Pagar is sometimes known. Referee En Santan, I'm just looking around the pitch to see if there are any changes. Don't seem to be, and that's really the most relaxed I've seen Boubacar Seck look this season, having scored the 3rd goal with a good left foot shot from the back of the box, just outside the box. And as far as I can see, no changes on either side so far, so it's going to be Tanjong Pagar in a slightly unfamiliar strip away from home to kick off the second half, playing from left to right on your screen. And do stay with us, because we've had 5 goals so far, and I don't think we've seen an end to it. A ball for Stephen Tan down the right with Fahmi Abdullah with him, and well controlled by Stephen as well, and a nice tackle by Fahmi, but he's given away the corner. Stephen will take the corner. The man who started the revival for Tanjong Pagar with a well-taken goal. Up goes everybody, and everybody misses it. And in the end, Basri puts it over the bar. It was a lovely cross in from Basri. That resulted in the second goal. 24 years old. And certainly an international, Lions international, I'm sure still in coach Vincent Subramanian's reckoning. Vincent looking now to the first week of June when he might get matches for the Lions. There's going to be like a friendly week, I think it's called, the FAS are calling it. There was a hope that the Thai national side might come over. No news on that, although in the Thai papers I did notice there's talk of Bayern Munich playing against Thailand around about that time. So FAS, I guess, probably looking for some top-class opposition for the Lions in the first week of June, so keep an eye on the newspapers for that. Jörg Steinbrunner. Up goes Tong Hai with To Chun Ming. Wira. And away come Tanjong Pagar. Their confidence, which was shattered in the first 20 minutes of the game, and they were looking at 6s and 7s at the back, grew and grew as the goals went in. Surachai, we're going to see a sensational start to the second half. Hoofed away by Lim Tong Hai as far as Basri Halis, he can't control that. There's Jatura Patarapong, Surachai. Just to remind you of the score up at Bishan Stadium at the moment. It's 1-0 to Home United, a goal for Egmar Gonçalves, their Brazilian, who's looked pretty sharp this season. Involved in a fair bit of controversy last week in their game against Balestier. Fami Abdullah. And that's away by Rudy Hyron. Interesting to hear John Yap talking about Moy Yokam, but I think everybody here at Gombak would also certainly acknowledge the contribution that David O'Connor, the Australian, made to this Gombak side. They only came last but one in their first season in 1998. David Connor took them through to 5th last season. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea here at Gombak, but certainly he let his coaching do the talking, and he did very well. He's still here in Singapore, incidentally, doing some coaching, I understand, in the Junior League. Ball in. Oh, completely missed in the end by Talic. It was a very good cross from Saswati Matadasuki. Talic, who made a dreadful mistake. Tong Hai, who started the game off looking nervous and very uptight, but eventually settled down. Goal kick will be taken by Johannes Idris. Neither goalkeeper taking the goal kicks tonight. Headed on by Conde. Stephen Tan prompts TP forward. Fami. Surachai. To Surachai number 2, that's Jira Surikot. Rudy Hyron gets it to Nicodeme. And the other tie, Suriwon, 3 ties in this Gombak side. Puts a slightly risky ball across to Johari Zakaria. Finds touch, the score stays. Gombak 2, Tanjong Pagar 3. Nice cross in and skidding around. You can see how difficult it is for the keeper. What looks like a pretty harmless ball in is bouncing and skidding off this turf. Conde with Nicodeme. Conde coming out on top that time. Oh, and Surachai Jirasurikot robbed by Stephen Tan, which could have been expensive. Steinbrunner. Wira back to Lim Tong Hai, who tonight is favouring first-time balls. Lim Tong Hai out of defence. I'd have to say that not a lot of them are finding Tanjong Pagar players. Conde, who looks very skillful, this Guinean player. Fami Abdullah, after a... offside given against Jorgen Nielsen, scorer of the second goal for Gombak. And a little bit of news for you about Daniel Bennett, the very impressive young player who some months ago was tipped, as we look at Nicodeme Boucher, tipped to be a possible Singapore international player. His family's been here for 20 years and he's a 21-year-old who grew up here, was born here at, started his life here, I should say, at the age of 3. And apparently he hopes very much that he will get his permanent residency and be able to play for Tanjong Pagar within the next 3 or 4 weeks. Left Balestier in the close season and came over here to, or came to Tanjong Pagar, having just got his degree in sports science. 3-2, and Home United 2-0 up. And another goal for the Dane, Brian Christensen. So he, who started the season slowly, is coming good. Boubacar on for Nicodeme. Bajafis Boubacar doesn't quite that time have enough pace to get round Surachai Chirasurikot. Steinbrunner. Well, the flag stayed down. The chance now for Gombak. Nielsen's unmarked in the centre. Oh, and he pulled it back too far. Rudy Hyron doesn't clear. Comes out as far as Conde. It's still not running for To Chun Ming. Now Fahmi Abdullah has a chance. And on his weaker foot, slices it away into touch on the far side. Let's look again. There's a cross in. Nielsen, it's just slightly too far behind Nielsen. In goes Surachai. It bounces out into a position a little bit similar to the one that Boubacar scored his goal in, and look who's back there in defence helping out, Stephen Tan. Rudy Hyron for Nicodeme Boucher. Boucher looks for something down the right, but there's absolutely nobody at all in the whole of the right-hand side of the half for TP. Wira. Oh, and a chance here for Tanjong Pagar. Oh, and the shot just blocked, well blocked by Stephen Ung from Boubacar Seck. Suriwang. Wira with a 1-2 with Nicodeme. Johannesidis lucky there. Now here's that chance again. It comes in, and Boubacar, a good shot, but good positioning from Stephen Ung. Back live. Steinbrunner taking a knock. Jamel Ashuri, brother, born in Mâcon in the centre of France, but Algerian father and French mother, and the rhythm section. Away by Fahmi Abdullah, looking for Jorgen Nielsen, but he had Johannes Idris in attendance, and the score stays Gombak United 2, Tanjong Pagar 3, and we're some 12 minutes into the second half. Tanjong Pagar finding out today that they will lose their very good team manager, Stephen Yeo, who must be congratulated, has been appointed as the Singapore Under-23 general manager. Surachai. It's a busy weekend in the S League. Tomorrow night, Tampines take on Sembawang, Woodlands take on Jurong, and then on Saturday, The match of the season so far, really. Singapore Armed Forces against Geylang United, and we have that live here on Sports City at Balestier Central against Clementi Khalsa. Balestier without a win this season. Pian Sivaji's men desperately hoping to get off the bottom of the table. Clementi just one place above them in 11th. Moi Yokam, as I said earlier, the former Penang coach, and so highly respected was he when he was with Penang that when it looked like he would come down here to Singapore, that the attempts to get him to stay went right up to government level in Malaysia. Badamudu Konde to Fahmi Abdullah. Surachai showing great pace here and just let it run out on the wet surface. 30-year-old, still very quick across the pitch. Has a Bachelor of Arts in Engineering, so he's also a brainy guy, is Chatura Patrapong Surachai. Boubacar, Jamela Shuri. Apologising to Nicodeme, who'd made a nice run up the right. Also played at the highest level, played with Auxerre in the French league, and there was an under-21 for Algeria. Jörg Steinbrunner's stats, the German defender for Gombak, Singapore PR. Hannes Idris goes tumbling. The game just quietened down a little bit after all the frenzy of the first half and the 5 goals. Samoria Basri will take the free kick. Well, I thought Stephen Tan was offside for that, but the flag stayed down. Certainly the Gombak defence still appealing for it. Kept in well there by Aziz Salim. Surachai. Oh, lovely ball. The flag has gone up this time. Jorgen Nielsen, scorer of the second goal for Gombak. Here's the ball through. The whistle went just about there. Whether or not that caused him to trip, I'm not quite sure. But it was a lovely ball from Surachai. Little flick on for Nicodeme Boucher. Jamel, who's everywhere prompting the Tanjong Pagar forwards. Great work rate. Wira. Nicodeme was offside. Well, the flag stayed down, and that's caught the Gombak defence completely. He chips one in to the back of the box. Oh, and the header in from Stephen Tan. Don't see too many headers from Stephen Tan. At 1.67 m or 63, I think it is officially. It's just here's a look at the replay. Everyone caught by surprise, the flag staying down. And there's Stephen's header. But he will have enjoyed himself. He really was the guy that put TP back into this game with that goal of the 20th minute when they were 2-0 down. Tong Hai. Jamel going to keep that in, is he? Nope, flag's gone up. Well, I know a lot of you enjoy the games, and there are a lot of people who make these games happen in the back rooms, as it were, of football. And a sad moment this week, really, at Clementi Khalsa, when Christine Kong, who's very well known to all of us who are involved with the S-League, the PR and administration manager for Clementi Khalsa, decided to retire. And the VIP box with the Singapore manager in the centre of your picture, in the white shirt there, Omar Ibrahim. The coach, I understand, Vincent Subramanian, watching this game also, but probably at home. Yeah, so jolly good luck to Christine Kong in her new ventures, but she was Tanjong Pagar fan club chairman for a long time and did wonderful things for the game behind the scenes. And people like that are what make the S-League tick. So good luck to her. Johari Zakaria, who started off this game like a demon, playing down the right side for, overlapping down the right for Gombak, and got the first goal with a lovely angled shot past Talijic. Up goes Conde, who I think's had a very good game at number 10. Steered away by Johannes Idris. Nobody warming up for either side. Johannes Idris, just 20 years old, and Nian Polytechnic student. Cross in for Jorgen Nielsen. Hasn't got much support, and high and way over the top of the running track. And the score stays 3-2. Surachai can't keep that one down. The next game for these two sides, Tanjong Pagar will play Tampines in week 6 of it. That's on Thursday of next week. And Gombak will play Geylang. And that'll be on the Friday night, that game at the Bedok Stadium. John Yap talking about the fighting spirit of Gombak, and I guess they better get it out quite soon. Time ticking away, 20 minutes into the second half. They're 3-2 down. The whistle's gone. Boubacar would have liked the advantage to be played, I think. Somewhere about 3. High ball looking for Boubacar. A pretty good shot, header in from him. Away by Fahmi Abdullah. Jorgen Nielsen can't quite reach it. Aziz Salim deals with it. Stephen Tan. Away by Suriwong. And Lim Tong Hai returns the favour with another first-time ball forward. Fahmi to Conde, back to Fahmi. Aziz Salim. Surachai Surikot gets it up to Conde. Weira. And Nicodeme's got there, and he's turned the defence. There's his foul! Super stuff! 6th goal of the season for Nicodeme Boucher. Well, you make your own mind up home, but I think that's a top-class international strike, if ever there was one. The way he brought it down, he turned on a very greasy surface. That's world-class striking. 4-2. Now just watch this. On a very, very wet surface, he comes inside the defender.
Number 10, Nicodeme Boucher.
It looks just as good from that angle too. And that makes him, at the moment anyway, top scorer in the league. Went inside, Johari Zakaria, I think it was. Players now at the other end. Jorgen Nielsen gets a cross in, which skids a little dangerously. There's confirmation of the score. 2-0 at one stage to Gombak from Johari Zakaria and Jorgen Nielsen. Then Stephen Tan, Boucher, Boubacar, and again Boucher have made it 4-2 to Tanjong Pagar. And for them, this is a good comeback after that disappointment last week, and big disappointment for Jorgen Nielsen this week. Nicodeme. Well, he didn't get premium player status, Nicodeme Boucher. He applied for it. The other one person who applied was David Rocastle, who was going to go to Clementi and then didn't turn up at all. And I wonder if he applied at the moment, what would be the result? Handball, I think, and a knock two. Dasuki, Sazwari Dasuki, also a ex-Tanjong player. but back in the days when they were still called Tiong Bahru, and one of the shortest players in the league at 1.57 m. Fahmi Abdullah. Well, that was out. Talking to one or two fans before the game about Fahmi Abdullah, I think the expression I heard used 3 or 4 times was hot and cold. He can be quite brilliant. Not a young player really at 26, but that he needs to find more consistency. Lovely ball from Nicodeme, whose work rate is also very high. Pushed forward by Johannes Idris for Basri. Oh, and Temples will go there. That was a rather silly piece of play on Niviat Siriwang, the tie by Basri Halis. And it's going to earn him a card. Yellow. So that is the 10th yellow of the season for Tanjong Pagar. And a free kick to Gombak. And now there's a real trio, a quartet. There they are, just at the top of your picture, of Gombak players warming up. Surachai Jurasurikot to Fahmi Abdullah. They can get one now. To Chu Ming's making a little run. It's too late. He got himself offside. He'll have to check now, Fahmi. He's held onto that ball too long and allowed the TP defence to reassemble. Stephen Tan. Wira can't quite reach it. Jamel to Boubacar Seck. Bouba, as they call him. Nicodeme, a chance of Boubacar into the box. What a good defensive play by Jorgen Steinbrunner. 28-year-old. And it's going to be a corner, though, to Tanjong Pagar. Let's look again. It's a little nudge in the back that he wanted a foul for. Stephen Tan will take the corner for TP. Up goes Nicodeme. Gosh, he's a handful at corners. And it's going to be a goal kick. Correction, another corner taken by Stephen Tan. Jorgen Nielsen. It's going to be a substitution for Gombak in a matter of moments. The ball's gone out of play. Will they make it now? It's going to be Ong Leong Kun to come on. Former NFL player who joined Gombak this season. But he'll have to wait for a break. Aziz Salim for Tanjong Pagar. To Basri Halis, who's changed flanks. Gets a backside for his pains. Or Fahmi Abdullah's backside, straightening him, knocking him on the ground. And it'll be a free kick to TP. In fact, a double substitution for Gombak. Basri Halis, 24 years old, and wins a free kick for Tanjong Pagar, leading 4-2 here at Gombak. Jamel. Surachai. Goes inside Jamel, or turns Jamel rather, past Wira. Still going, but a little Stephen Tan gets in there. What a pleasure it is to watch Stephen Tan sometimes, 100% player. The game beginning to warm up again. And the same goes for that gentleman in your picture now, Surachai. 101% he gives. Refs just holding him back so that the double substitution can take place. Off will come Fahmi Abdullah, and on will come Ong Leong Kun, or Coin, 23 years old, joined them this season, as they're saying, from SAF, and I believe that's the youngster, Amir. That's actually Azia Jamil, 20-year-old, and talked of in the press this morning as a very promising player indeed. Played with the NFL, I beg your pardon, Tampines. Side managed by Colin Chi. So double substitution, what can it do? They're 4-2 down. Ashuri. Rudy Hiron puts it into touch. About 17 minutes of normal time remaining. Fair tackle, I thought, by Johannes Idris. The linesman has other ideas. Linesman on the far side, Mohamed Ali, and on this near side, our camera side, Tang Yuman. Free kick to Gombak. Header away again by Rudy Hiron. It'll be a corner this time to Gombak United. Another player who used to be with Tampines, the full side that is, 26 years old, Rudy Hiron. So, Surachancha, Surapattarapong takes it short, goes back for the return, and does well. Rudy Hiron in there again. Short for a defender is Rudy Hiron, but very powerfully built, broad-shouldered. Take a shot again. Oh, and a nice piece of play to Siriwang. And the big tie defender blasts one over. Let's have a look at it again. Takes a little deflection, and now there'll be a substitution. Yet another one. This time it's going to be a TP substitution. Off is going to come Basri Halis, who's played extremely well and certainly did pretty well. And I think that's Rudy Ali, I beg your pardon, it's Hirizan Joffrey coming on, 28-year-old. So Hirizan on for Basri Halis. Boubacar Seck. Very weary looking Nuyat Siriwang, just trudging back across the right of your screen there. Not really in the classic build of a Thai player is Nuyat. He's 22 years old. Used to play for Sintana in the Thai league. Corner to Tanjong Pagar, taken high, looking for... Oh, and the keeper does well, really. And Stephen Ang, 1.78 of him, completely overwhelmed by Nicodeme Boucher at 1.92 m, and he did well to punch it away. Let's look at it from behind the goal. Didn't get to see too much of it, does he? And it's the second corner for Tanjong Pagar. Up he goes again, the keeper punches again. The ref seemed a little hesitant there as to what to give. He's given another corner. Referee Santan just keeping a little eye on what's going on in the box. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. It's a good shot there from the back. See how crowded it is. Jamel Ashuri with the corner. Rudy Hiron trying to steer it back in. Has Conde with him. And in the end, the substitute, Ong Yong-kun, comes over and concedes a third corner in the space of 60 seconds. Quarter of an hour to go, confirmation of the score. And bear in mind, if you just joined us, that at one stage it was Gombak 2, Tanjong Pagar 0. That time Condé does well, as far as Hyurizan can't control it, and away comes Surachai. He in turn is pushed over by Samawira Basri. It'll be a free kick to Gombak, time running out for the Bulls. And Lim Tong Hai steps in, does he? As tends to happen in a situation like this, 4-2 down, tempers get a wee bit frayed. Here's the replay. Surachai brought down by Wira, and then tripped by Surachai, or at least he felt he was afterwards. Surachai saying it's okay, he just take the free kick. Home United 2, Green Castle 0. That's still the latest score from Bishan Stadium tonight, so the Home United revival continues. The goal scorers there, Egmar Gonçalves and Christiansen, their Danish player, a Brazilian and a Dane. Which I think that gives, looking down at my list here, Egmar 3 goals this season. In from Conde. Stephen Tan gets up well for a little guy. In from Johari Zakaria. Aziz Salim looking for Boubacar. Steinbrunner. Zakaria. And poor old Tochu Ming's having a miserable evening of it up front. Couldn't do much about that. He came back for a short ball, and Johari Zakaria put it way over his head. He couldn't go forward, Tochu Ming, because he'd been offside. Just a little token challenge on keeper Talic there. Well, they're in the more familiar red and white strip, the fans really, although the away strip, the black on the gold. But they have a jolly well organised cheer group. As I say, I'd just like to see them down where all the fans can see them. No reason at all why they couldn't be down on the track side or just in front of the track side. Jirasirikot. It's going to reach Johari. Saswati Matedasuki, who's had a quiet game really. Jirasirikot puts one in. Keeper's ball is it? It's tied up by Tong Hai. And a good shot really that. And very well judged by Talic, who'd already started his dive and took his hands away in mid-air as it were, realising that it was going to go out. But somebody got a touch because it's going to be a corner to Gombak. There's the shot. Oh, he did actually just get it on his fingertips, I beg your pardon. (4-2) to Tanjong Pagar, and around about 10 minutes remaining here at the Bukit Gombak Stadium. Don't forget our live match on Saturday, SEF against Geylang. And of course our chat show on Sunday. There's the man of the match, and that's an interesting decision, Boubacar Seck. Well, I'm delighted for him. Can't personally say I quite agree with it. I think that Nicodeme's had a better match, but it's really good to see Boubacar find some form now with a lovely shot that got the third goal for Tanjong Pagar. Had it gone to a defensive player, there's no doubt it would have gone to Jamel Ashuri, who's had a great match as well. And so has Surachai for Gombak, totally committed even if he hasn't managed to get the ball in the net. Wira. Nicodeme. Condé. And same applies to Condé, Balamodu Condé. 26-year-old Guineans also had a very good match for Gombak, even though they are losing 4-2. Would have been nice to have seen Guy Alassane tonight, the 25-year-old Gabonese player at number 6. More of a defensive player, though. And he also was a former Chong Baru player. Everyone just beginning to feel, I think, that the game almost over, and Tanjong Pagar will pick up 3 very valuable points. It'll give them 13 points and put them top of the table. But of course they will have played 5 to Armed Forces and Gelang's 4. But that's interesting that the SAF will play Gelang next. There's a chance really for Tanjong Pagar to get into second position at least. Jamel Ashuri, who looks very, very tired, as well he might. Wira will take the free kick. That's his stats. Another international in the GP ranks. Well, it all started so well for Moyokham's side. Good match for referee Santan tonight. And I'm just hearing in my headset that it's now 3-0. And it's a Danish night up at Bishan. Rennie Anderson's got the third for Home United. Poor clearance out. Only comes as far as Wira. Ashuri. He gets a shot in, it takes a deflection, it will be a corner. And if that stays that way, it will put Home United on 9 points and push them up as well into 4th position. Johari Pajan telling me before the game that he has an 8-year-old who he can't control. He's so mad about football and knows more about football, he said, than I do. Took over, of course, from Robert Alberts. Corner in from Tanjong Pagar, headed away, but not really cleared for Gombak. To Chun Ming. Just hasn't happened for him the last couple of games. Very difficult to play, not part-time football, but certainly to play football as a second profession at this level. Now, can he do something now? He's playing in a midfield position. Well, I have to say that was a mile offside. Azad Jamil, was it? Flag stayed down. Balamodu Condé. Nice cross ball for Johari. Johari gets one in past Stephen Tan, away by Lim Tong Hai. Steinbrunner to Condé. The other tie comes forward to Siri Wang. Ong Leong Kun into the side netting. 4-2 the score stays to TP, and we're into the last 5 minutes. Highly rated player indeed, as are 2 or 3 of the youngsters on this Gombak side, which makes their future bright. Only just 23, Ong. Man of the match, Boubacar Seck. Vertical cross, looking for Nicodeme, up he goes. Brave play by Stephen Ong, the goalkeeper for Gombak, but there's been a collision and someone's absolutely out and completely in the box. It's a Gombak player. I'm not sure if it's Johari. Tonight you can see Leeds match against Galatasaray live on Sports City. Just check the newspaper for the time, because the times have changed. I think it's at 2:45 in the morning. If you fancy staying up, there's confirmation of the score. 2:30 I'm just hearing in my cans. A game that unfortunately has already got off to well, certainly a a very disappointing and tragic start yesterday with the death of 2 Leeds United fans in Istanbul after disturbances in the street, but UEFA have decided to play that match. And the mandatory taking off of the stretcher for Ong. He doesn't want to go off, he wants to come straight back on. So UEFA Cup action tonight here on Sport City, 2:30. Ong wants to get back on and can't. Yes, he can, finally. Modesty prevents me giving the score at Stamford Bridge last night, so I will not tell you it was Chelsea 3, Barcelona 1. Steinbrunner. Johannes Idris. Header from Surachai. Johari, Gombak trying to play sensible build-up forward, not panicking. Lim Tong Hai in just the right place to stop that ball getting to To Chun Ming, and away they come through Weira. That's a good ball, doesn't quite reach Nicodeme though, and Steinbrunner tidies up. Saswari blows for offside against the very tall Azad Jamil. Certainly very tall for a local player at 1m82. All the way back to Stephen Ung, who must have thought when they were 2-0 up Gombak that he was going to have a fairly easy evening, and then it all went wrong. 3-2 at half-time and now 4-2. Condé. And just tied up by Hirizan Joufli in the end. Jamel, who is all but down and out. Nicodeme gallops after it with those long legs. Condé. (4-0) up at Bishan. Egmar Gonçalves has got a second, and that'll do a lot for the confidence of the home United boys, who lost their first 2 matches. Gombak are playing at the moment. They could just get another one back. Dasuki. Oh, a good try through by Azad Jamil, but they've got a second bite of the cherry. Siriwang. And Jamel. Nicodeme gets a good ball through. And this, oh dear, disappointing end in the end. And it's well, much amusement for Rudy Hiron. Not sure whether it took a divot. He's just going to tell them all about it. But they can afford to smile. 4-2 up and coming into injury time. Condé. There he goes, over the top. And Azad Jamil is through for Gombak onside. And a good play there by Hirizan. A long shot in from Steinbrunner. About the gentleman from Freiburg in Germany. Having a frustrating evening. And that's Dragan Talic, who had a patchy first half, one outstanding save, and then a complete misjudgment which gave Jorgen Nielsen Gombak's second goal, when I think Talic just thought the ball wouldn't come up as high as it did, and it bounced as if it was off concrete right over the top of his head. He's going to leave the free kick to Aziz Salim, Singapore international, as the crowd just begins to drift away. Nicodeme gets a shove in the back from Siriwan. Interesting to see as we look at Moyokam, and that face says it all, doesn't it? Well, he's known to be a hard man, and he's given the team extra training when he feels necessary. He must be very disappointed after the great start they made tonight. I was just going to say, it's just interesting to see where Daniel Bennett might fit into this Tanjong Pagar side. If he does get his PR, in the end an easy catch for Stephen Un. He's a midfielder, is Bennett, a strong boy. Raring to go, he told me tonight. He's not eligible to play in the Prime League. Little push by Hirizan. Wins Gombak a kick. Conde, who must be very tired too, he's covered a lot of ground tonight. Dasuki, Steinbrunner. And Ong gets away with it. He's a tall boy, is Azeh Jamil, I must say, for a forward. And he looks quite heavy too. Conde has kept it in. Johari Zakaria. That was an interesting piece of play by Talic. Nicodeme. Boubacar. Trying a long one, probably quite sensible on this pitch, but it cannons into Surachai Jirasirikot. Nicodeme Boucher, Weira, with Surachai in attendance. And Jamel wins the throw-in, does he? Yes, he does. Bong Leong Kun, a little difficult to assess him, and the only time I've seen him play this season. Not too difficult to assess Jamel Ashuri though. It's the third time I've seen him. Oh, a little flick on by Nicodeme, and I think Jamel, to me, almost the signing of the season, although I'm impressed with Nicodeme, he's not a new player, but I think this young man, Ashuri, is, as the whistle goes here, a real find. And there's the final whistle, and the final score at the Bukit Gombak Stadium is Tanjong Pagar 4, Gombak United 2. 2-0 lead for Gombak, and then Tanjong Pagar got back 3 more goals in the first half, or 3 goals in the first half, to make it 3-2 at half-time. The 4th in the second half made it 4-2. We have a post-match interview for you coming up with the man of the match, and also with Johari Paichan. We'll also have highlights of the match, but there's the score, and I'll just take you through the scorers. If the wind here in the stadium, which is getting up, doesn't blow my notes away. The scoring was opened in the 17th minute, or the 11th minute rather, by Johari Zakaria, coming in from the right and putting a nicely angled shot past Talic. Then in the 17th minute, a mistake by Talic led in Jorgen Nielsen to make it 2-0, and at that moment it seemed as if Gombak were going to pull off a famous victory. Then it was 2-1 just 7 minutes later. Stephen Tan got TP right back into the game in the 42nd minute, Nicodeme Boucher, and then that man on the left of your picture there, Boubacar, Seck, with a lovely left foot shot, which put the smile back onto Harry's face right on the stroke of half-time. That made it 3-2. The second half didn't quite have the same flair as the first half, but in the end it was a lovely piece of play from Nicodeme Boucher in the 65th minute that made it 4-2 to Tanjong Pagar. I think we can look at 1 or 2 of the highlights of this half. Obviously a delighted Tanjong Pagar side. In the background there, Stephen Yeo. And here's a chance to see the first goal. That was the first one, from Johari Zakaria in the 10th minute. Delight for the former Clementi player. Here's the second one. Now you see how that ball climbs up out of the bounce. Talic completely misjudging it, and 2-0 courtesy of the club manager, Jorgen Nielsen. Then Stephen Tan's little nudge. Delight for super sub. Then a lovely cross in for Nicodeme to make it 2-2, and that lovely cross in was from Basri Halis. That gave Nicodeme 5 goals in the season. And then perhaps the happiest moment for Tanjong Pagar this season. A ball in that Boubacar doesn't quite get hold of, but Nicodeme fights for, struggles. Boubacar finds himself unmarked at the back of the box, 3-2, and an enormous delight for the Senegalese player. And that set the rhythm section going into the second half. And nothing going right for Messrs. To Chun Ming and Jorgen Nielsen. And I believe I said a moment ago Nicodeme was man of the match. I should have said Boubacar. Well, in fact, hang on a second. And then this is the final goal, was it? No, that was the shot from Johari that kind of curled away off his foot. And another header over, this time from Stephen Tan. But this time the score was still 3-2 to TP, and they were beginning to dominate. Stephen's header. And then this piece of magic from Nicodeme Boucher. A lovely piece of control, coming inside Siriwang, I think it was. A left foot shot into the net, putting himself top scorer in the league with 6 goals. And I can confirm for you, in fact, that the man of the match is indeed Nicodeme Boucher. I would have been a little bit surprised had it been Boubacar. I think I said earlier, that's that lovely second goal. Here from the back of the goal, no chance at all for Stephen Ang. 4-2. Looks good from every angle, doesn't it? It really is a world-class goal. Beautifully driven with his left foot. And it gives him 6 goals in the lead. And just to remind you quick...